Oh, no, you can't come up here. Okay. Oh, we interrupt this podcast for a dog licking.
Harry, get off.
Thanks, bud.
You good dog.
Okay. All right, here we are.
Yo.
Number 1.
Welcome back.
Welcome back if
Post
you've not
intro.
seen the first video, or welcome to the first video.
First video, post intro.
Post intro. If you haven't watched the intro, give it a look-see.
Yeah.
See what you got. But this is Sofa Tomatoes.
Yeah. I'm Tom Sofa.
And I'm Mike Tomato.
And welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we talk about our main topic?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
All
I
right.
think, what are you watching? I want to know what you're watching because you're a big TV guy first.
Okay.
And we do like to talk about that.
Yeah, dude, I recently am on Apple TV right now.
Apple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apple TV. And I finished the show Bad Monkey.
Bad Monkey. I can't say I'm familiar.
Really?
Yeah.
It's starring Vince Vaughn.
Okay, I know Vince. He's a Chicago native.
He is. And on top of that, it's also Harry, leave it. It's also got the creator of the show is Bill Lawrence, who's one of my favorites.
Do I know who that is?
He's the creator of Scrubs. He's the creator of Ted Lasso.
Okay.
He's created a lot of kind of like pretty big shows.
Yeah.
He's
I mean, I remember everyone's on like that Ted Lasso binge.
kick,
Yeah.
It's awesome. Great show. But this show was not so good.
Ooh, okay. Tell me more.
Not my fave, to be honest with you. Vince Vaughn's kind of like a detective.
Okay.
And
do you ever watch True Detective?
I never have.
Okay.
But I bet I'd like it, honestly.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
But I don't know the season with Vince Vaughn. I only know the season with
He's in True Detective?
He's in one of the seasons.
Well,
the cast changes from season to season.
I hope he was better in that because he's not good in this.
Okay, it didn't get the best reviews.
Yeah.
But he is also a detective in that show, to my understanding.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's not. I'm not positive.
I just don't think that he got the Bill Lawrence vibe, or Bill Lawrence didn't catch the vibe of the show. It didn't have enough like meaningful to it.
Okay.
I think. Like not enough like
not enough heart.
Not enough emotion about the characters as much as it was just kind of like
okay.
Just felt like they're just going through the motions.
It's like underdeveloped kind of
like
experience.
A lot happened. It took you on a little journey, but it really didn't give me what I wanted.
You didn't like the destination at the end.
Didn't like the destination. Didn't really like the journey. Didn't like the ride. They're like, but it was a journey nonetheless.
Okay.
So I don't recommend it.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, but I'm not only gonna shit on Bill Lawrence because I cannot blame him.
You think it's Vince? Vince did it dirty.
It could be Vince. There could be a plethora of things, but I will say that Bill Lawrence, the second season of Shrinking just started. Are you familiar with this one?
Is that like the Matt Damon movie where they get fun size?
No, it's not.
Was it Downsizing? Is that what that one's called?
I couldn't tell you, but this is not that. And
okay.
I don't think Bill Lawrence is a part of that. But this is Jason Segel.
Okay.
This is Harrison Ford.
Oh, okay.
This is a show where the main characters are therapists.
Fascinating.
And I think you'd like it. I really do.
I do. I like therapy.
It's got a lot of heart. It's very, very comical.
Also Apple TV?
Apple TV. Yeah, you got to be.
Okay. I have Apple TV.
Okay.
I did subscribe.
Yeah. Well, they're 2 episodes in now.
Okay.
And I have put them on twice over the last 2 nights to fall asleep to on accident trying to watch it. And I fell asleep both times. Finally watched it today. And I enjoyed it very much. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been told, Severance and Apple TV, I can always shout out.
Which comes back, I think, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I have not fact checked it, but
Ben Stiller.
I have a source that texted me about that saying that there's like a meeting at 9
your source
tomorrow.
redheaded?
I do have a redheaded source.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. That's a good source. But Okay, that's great news because I loved that show.
I think 9 p.m. tomorrow Eastern, so maybe 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, I can get into that.
And I'm very excited about that because I have no idea what I'm gonna have to watch the finale again to remember like exactly where we're at. And I don't want the recap. I want to feel the finale of Severance again before I move
Totally,
forward.
as you should. I feel like that's a great way to start the new season.
Yeah,
I feel like you have to do that.
It's just so good.
It's fantastic. If you have not watched it, I can't recommend it enough. It's probably one of the better shows that have come out in recent TV. Although we are in a golden age of TV.
Yeah.
Given all the streaming platforms and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit out there too.
I've been on Netflix recently.
Oh.
So I logged in at my parents' house because I'm an adult and I still use my parents' Netflix account.
I do too. Yeah, only on my laptop though.
Okay,
it doesn't work on the TV.
I got it on the pad. I got it on the iPad.
Yeah.
And I've been rewatching The Crown.
Oh, haven't seen this.
Yeah.
I've heard about it though.
Okay. You know the royal family in the UK.
You love the royal family.
I love drama, and the royal family is full of it.
Yeah.
And
Harry, enough.
I think the show. Oh, he's so cute though.
He is.
I think the show does a fantastic job. Harry, we're talking about The Crown. Yeah. The Crown, Harry.
The Crown, buddy.
Harry, Prince Harry. We're talking about The Crown. Thank you.
Thanks, Harry.
And I think the show does a fantastic job of like retelling some of like very important historical events through Queen Elizabeth's time. Okay. It's really just her, the second Elizabeth, not the first.
Okay.
And so it's like 2 seasons. It's kind of like a couple. So like the first 2 seasons, like a younger cast. Then the next 2 seasons is like a middle-aged cast. And then the third season is like, or like the third couple, 5 and 6, is like an older cast. Yeah. You know, giving the queen her experience.
Sure.
And it's fabulous.
Interesting.
The score is great. The cinematography is beautiful. I mean, just like the lifestyle of the royal family is fascinating. Like, I'm sure Netflix is really kind of giving us the drama of it all, like for entertainment purposes. And I'm sure there's some secrets that they can't tell us. Like, I've heard that similar to the United States, that if you believe JFK was murdered under suspicious circumstances, you know, that is to like the JFK to the United States is that to Diana in the UK. So they think like Princess Di was kaputsk to protect whatever secrets and gossip they got going on. Okay. And they do have a lot of it. It's a lot. Most of the show, it's a lot of like romance and like I couldn't love the person I loved because of the institution that is the royalty. Yeah. And then there's like some other little dramas and little tidbits in here. I really like the history part of it because I'm a history slut. Yeah. And I think it's fascinating, you know, some of the events that you don't really, because we're in an American bubble, you know, like we live in our fantastic bubble. Yeah. And you don't really think about some of the like crazy events that happened in Britain and like how that also kind of shaped a little bit of the world and what's going on. Right. And it's great. You get little tidbits, little cues, little drama of it all. Yeah. So if you like that thing, you like the drama, the royalty, you know, the gaudiness and the pretentious characters. Okay. It's gorgeous. It's a great show.
It's a little sexy?
It is sexy. There is sex involved. They do have lots of sex. The royal family does have sex.
If it's a little sexy, I could possibly get behind. It's a little funny?
No.
Not funny.
It's not a comedy. There are like little tidbits where you'll be like, oh. Yeah. But it's really not like you go for the funnies.
Sure.
Olivia Colman, I don't know if you know who that is. Actress, phenomenal, hysterical. Okay. She plays the queen in 2 seasons. Okay. And I would say her queen is the most kind of funny. Okay. It's the middle-aged queen. Okay.
I'm open to it.
The other 2 are very serious.
I'm open to it.
You know, it's okay if you're not.
Right now. No, I'm open to it. No. It may not necessarily be up my alley, but maybe if like Rachel hasn't seen it, she might like it.
Sure, I can see that.
Like,
I could see Rachel enjoying that
if she likes it or if she's wanted to see it or something like that. But
sure,
if she's already seen it, then it's probably going to be a no for me, dog.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I think it's a great like nightcap show because there aren't really a lot of like explosions or loud noises.
Okay.
And you do kind of fall asleep to like the soothing sounds of British aristocracy, and it's kind of nice.
Can I tell you the problem with a show like that?
Go ahead.
Rachel will be down to watch it, and then we'll turn it on, and I'm gonna fall asleep like that. I'm gonna fall
But that's
asleep.
great.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
you
no, no.
want.
It's good for me. Not gonna be, because she's gonna want to watch it with me, and then she's not gonna be able to, because I'm not gonna be able to stay awake through the first 5-10 minutes of it, and there's just no way.
Well, that's drama.
I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm willing to give it a chance. I can
You don't
feel
have
it
to.
already. I can feel it already.
You don't have to.
I'll fall asleep so
But
fast.
if you need to fall asleep, put it on. It's better than the news. It's better than the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
It's much more calming and soothing, and you get a little bit of history.
Yeah.
And everybody likes to learn about the past, right?
Sure. So not everybody, but some people.
Yeah.
Some people like to just think about the future and worry about the present.
No.
There aren't other people out there, huh?
Well, sure.
Okay.
I'm just not one of them.
Okay. All right.
I do love a past experience.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm open to it. I'm not 100% committed, but I'm open to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Any on your radar besides, Terrible Vince Vaughn and, the other Apple TV show that you're talking about?
There's a couple things that are kind of like.
Have you heard of Silo on Apple TV?
I have heard of Silo. I haven't watched that. I've heard good things.
Okay.
Have you watched
I've
it?
been recommended. I've not watched.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it kind of came out in tandem with the on Prime. It's another show about people in bunkers. It's
Okay.
about a video game. What the hell's the video game called?
On Prime.
Yeah.
You sure it's not on Max?
No, it's on Prime, and it's got like the thumbs up guy, and it's like an old video game.
Fallout?
Fallout. Thank you. Fallout.
Okay. Fallout.
I feel like it's similar to that,
Okay.
kind of like it came out, I feel like at a similar timing when like
Sure.
maybe nuclear war shelters is
Yeah.
kind of the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And Fallout is amazing.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed that show. It's made by the same guy who did Westworld. And if you have not watched Westworld, I cannot implore you to watch that show.
I think
enough.
I
think
tried
season
to
one.
start
At least season
Westworld, and I think it's just intimidating. And I would say
Okay.
Silo also a little intimidating. And I would say the same thing about I put Silo in like a category with like Yellowstone. You ever watch Yellowstone?
I know what it is, but no, I haven't.
I only put it in that category because like it's just probably like a intense story that you really got to sink your teeth into.
Well,
type of
Yellowstone's
thing.
like it's like oil, right?
Yeah, but I think it's like Sopranos oil though. Like
Okay.
it's kind of got that vibe. So like I imagine I'd like it, but like you really got to dive deep and be willing to
Sure.
enjoy some not so great characters and like
Yeah,
it's-
you got to piece together some difficult
Yeah.
things. So you do have to pay attention a little bit. So it's not a sleep show, but you
Yeah.
could sleep to it.
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
really
need.
wanted
I'm not necessarily begging for a sleep show,
to. Okay.
but I'm open to those shows, but not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today. But The Crown, I'd consider.
Yeah, it's a cute sleep show.
Yeah.
It's my sleep comfort show.
Yeah. You know what? You know what else I watched recently? The new Beetlejuice.
The movie?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good.
Really?
I liked it.
Do you like that all of these, I would say like 90s movies are kind of coming back, the nostalgia, they're really kind of harping on the nostalgia porn experience.
I do not like that it's like a money grab type thing.
Yeah.
I feel like they know their audience,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think I would have watched it without being with people that wanted to watch it. It was like,
I mean, were you a fan of the first one? Were you a fan of?
yeah, it was fine.
Okay, I thought it was scary. I was like
Yeah,
scared.
it's a little
I was
spooky.
scared of it as a
It's
kid.
a little spooky. I mean, this had like a little jump scare here, jump scare there. It had a
Okay.
little, but it was all around. It was good. I thought that it was very, very solid. If and when they have another Beetlejuice, I think I'd see it. Like,
I think the rumor is there's going to be 3 because there's something about a trilogy that's referenced in the
Yeah.
first one.
okay,
So stay tuned. I feel like, if it did well at the box office, the
Yeah.
studio's obviously going to be like,
Right.
let's get that money, honey.
for sure. Yeah. So I'd watch another one.
And I like that Winona Ryder is like kind of coming back a little bit,
Oh yeah, she's in it.
after her experience at Saks, where she got blacklisted a little bit.
Yeah.
I like that post Stranger Things, they're like, why is everybody sleeping on Winona?
Totally.
You know,
Totally.
she's funny.
Yeah, she is. She gives a couple laughs here and there, and she's got like kind of I don't know, lightness about her.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's good.
Yeah, keeps me interested. And then I never knew until like later on in life that Michael Keaton was Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
Never.
I definitely didn't know that when I was younger. It took me a long time to know what actors what and what's what.
No, but even as like
yeah.
I should have known who Michael Keaton is, right? As I become like more aware of who's in movies.
Yeah,
I was shocked
totally.
when I learned that he was Beetlejuice.
Yeah, surprising times.
You know?
Mhm.
It's great.
It is.
I mean, it's, you know, he's a chameleon amongst men.
Yeah,
And I like that.
yeah,
But I was impressed, Mr. Keaton. You know,
Totally.
from Batman to Beetlejuice. I think he did like a Birdman movie,
really.
something like that. He was like a superhero that wasn't like so super.
Not familiar with that one.
It was like part of the Oscars buzz one year, but because you don't really watch the Oscars. do you?
No,
Okay.
no. The
I
award
do.
shows,
I love the Oscars.
don't know anything about an award show.
The Oscars is a good one.
I believe it. I mean, I'm sure there's good ones and bad ones.
Gives
out
me
there.
ideas of like what I should be watching. Although sometimes it's definitely like the Academy, you know.
Yeah, it sounds
picking
like they
their
could just send you a
favorites.
memo.
I could subscribe to some
You
list.
know,
you know, I
like-
could.
So why they got to do it in an hourly thing and like,
Yeah.
you know, make money off the ads of it all and
Well,
you know
I-
why you know
because
just
it's money,
you know
baby.
you should
Everyone
just be able
needs
to
that
hop
money.
on Instagram and scroll, click. Oh, that was the list. Okay, good. Oh,
I mean,
know
it's
what
on
to watch
Wikipedia.
now. I know what to watch now.
You could go to like all of it's on Wikipedia. Like,
Yeah.
even the list of like all the nods, all the winners.
Sure.
So if you ever like run dry and you're like, I kind of want a little hoity-toity Academy approved movie.
Yeah.
You know, go on Wikipedia, see what you got.
Sure.
There's some good movies on there.
Yeah, I'd do that. I would do that.
Yeah, I love Wikipedia. Wikipedia really kind of turns the party.
Yeah, wiki. Little
She
wiki
really
here,
does.
wiki there.
I donate. Do you donate?
No.
Wow,
I
rude. Disrespectful.
hardly hop on wiki.
Disrespectful.
Hardly hop on wiki.
That's shameful.
Yeah, I'm a slacker.
Wow.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll keep Wikipedia ad free and alive. I'll do that. I'll dive on
You're
that.
not the only
grenade.
one. You're not the only one.
It's just
I'm
$1.
glad you're taking credit for
It's
it,
just
but
$1.
you're not the only one.
That's all it is $1.
Yeah, but
That's a cup of coffee, right? You know, that's why millennials can't afford a house. You know, a house. We're getting too much coffee. We're supporting Wikipedia.
Yeah, if we didn't have to support Wikipedia,
I'd have a house.
I'd have a couple properties by now.
I'd have a
but-
house, Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
So,
but no.
okay.
Well,
All right. Well,
Well, I guess, is there a hill that you want to die on?
is there a hill that I want to die on? There's always a hill that I want to die on, and it's
Really?
not Bunker Hill. For those who understand General Custer and his
No.
last stand, you know, history,
Yeah.
like I said.
History's good.
I want to die on the hill that consulting firms and consultants are nothing but scam artists.
Why do you say that?
Because it's insane to me that, you know, a lot of these big companies, these Fortune 500s, you know, the company I work for included,
Yeah.
you know, will hire these consulting firms, and these consultants come in from very prestigious business schools,
Yeah.
you know, knowing lots of business buzzwords,
Sure.
you know, preparing these very beautiful, very picturesque, you know, slide decks. They're not
Yeah.
slideshows anymore or PowerPoints. They're slide decks.
Not familiar with that term,
You know,
but I
'cause-
like it.
Yeah,
I like
because it's
that.
all a house of cards to these guys.
It's a house of cards.
And when I tell you that they're the idea people, right? These companies hire consultants and consultant firms to
Right.
like turn the company around. They're like,
Yeah.
we've had a slump, you know, these past couple quarters. Let's get some consultants in here
Right.
and let's, you know, have them teach us how to business.
Okay.
And, you know, they're grand ideas that I've witnessed. It's usually like, hey, buddy, you're very important to this company and you do fantastic business, but we got to save the business. And you know what that means? You're out. we're cutting you. You're getting layoffs. These grand ideas, these fantastic consultant firms that make billions and billions of dollars. Their great ideas is to just let people go, lay people off. Bottom lines, baby. It's all about those bottom lines. You know, McKinsey Group. Ooh, McKinsey Group. I'm going to create some enemies with McKinsey.
Did you see that thing that happened with Facebook where they fired somebody for using their, they get like $25 credits for lunch or something, and they use those credits to buy other household things?
As is their right. Like, come
Fired.
on. Really?
Fired.
Meta.
They were on a $400,000 salary. Fired.
For $25 credits.
Gone.
You're
Get
telling
out of
me
here.
Mark Zuckerfuck was out here saying you're stealing too much money from me with these, you know, $25 credits while you make $400,000.
Oh yeah.
Miss me
later.
Mark.
Go find another job.
Mark, you can do better. Be better, Mark.
It's tough out there.
But yeah, these consultant firms, McKinsey in particular, you're on my shit list.
So like, this is not in defense of
No,
Zuck.
defend them.
I'm not defending Zuck.
Be the devils of these advocates.
I'm just saying, like, you got $400,000 a year. Why don't you just buy those things with those dollars and just like use them credits to buy the food?
You know, I think those credits should be considered part of his income, right? So he should be able to do whatever the hell he wants with it. But I don't know what contract he signed. I
have no idea, and I don't know if it's a he or a she. So
a they.
Yeah, it could be anybody.
It could be his or him.
But I just think that if there is a rule around it, I think that the person probably makes enough where they could have bought those couple things with those dollars, and
I suppose
just used it to get the food that they're gonna eat. They're gonna eat anyway. Like,
let the man or woman, let them eat. Let them eat cake.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
Let them eat pancakes.
Sure.
You know, God forbid, you know, they do the work that is Meta and get fired for it because they're using those credits that Meta provides for the work they do.
My question is like, is it like technically fraud?
Well, I guess you need to know what the contract is.
Is it fraud for them to do that? And then if Zuck has to report it on the business taxes, and it's not what it was used for, is it fraud? Is that the problem? I don't know. I'm just creating that as a possibility.
I think by that circumstance and definition, like, yeah, that would be fraud. But also, like...
Fired.
But also, like, what's one fraud to another? You know?
Right. I don't disagree. I'm just thinking
I feel like Meta
it.
has a lot bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
And that guy, maybe they just wanted to axe him because his salary was too high. Or her, sorry.
Yeah. No, hey, you don't need to apologize.
And the company was just like, we just need anything to get rid of this person.
Mm-hmm.
And boom, credits, you're out.
You think so?
And that could have been it. And that saved the company $400,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. That's not no small bags, you know.
And the person was committing fraud.
Allegedly.
Somehow we're on Zuck's side now.
Right. We just transitioned. We're now big advocates of Meta and Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
You know, I do like those goggles, though, if you want to get a pair of those goggles.
Have you tried them?
I have.
And
it was kind of fun.
Okay.
I'm kind of here for the virtual augmented reality kind of thing. Okay. I think it could be fun and entertaining.
Okay.
I do live for the videos of, like, say, like, boomers and older generation that try them and then they kind of get lost in that reality and think it's the real world. And they kind of jump into the TV.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Yeah.
I love that kind of, you know, technological chaos that we're experiencing.
People freak out in those sometimes.
It's wild. It's wild.
Hilarious.
And it makes me chuckle. If America's Funniest Home Videos was still a thing, they would be on it. That would be a whole segment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it not a thing anymore?
I haven't seen it, but I also haven't had cable in over 10 years.
Wow. That's a lot of years.
Yeah. You know, that's a decade. It's a chunk of time.
Wow.
So, I mean, back to my hill, though.
Oh, sorry.
You know, consultants and consulting firms. Yeah. I'm convinced y'all don't do anything. Y'all are trash. Your ideas are trash.
Boom.
And that's the hill I'm going to die on today.
Boom. Take that.
So I'm not getting a job at McKinsey anytime soon.
Except Don Cheadle in House of Lies. That's a good consultant right there.
Who the what? I don't know who that is.
You know who Don Cheadle is?
I've heard the name, but I can't put a
You
face
do.
to it.
He's a big time actor.
I know, like I said, I know the name, but the face is blurred.
Your aunt is in love with him.
My
She
aunt's
brought
in
it
love
up
with a
when
lot
we
of
were-
people.
when we
Oh
were
my God,
at-
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Don. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Anyhow. So, okay, that's a fair hill to die on, I think.
Yeah.
My hill to die on, I didn't really have one, but you hopped on that hill. I figured I could find a hill to die on.
There's a couple out there.
My hill to die on today is that I hate when these companies that I work with, they just straight up lie to my face.
Oh, love that. Love lying.
And that I think is too relatable of a hill to die on. It's not really anything that's like funny. These people, they'll just,
But that's a good hill.
they'll straight up get me on the phone and they'll tell me they have XYZ and they'll do it for X amount of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And
Those are good dollars.
then I'll call them back and they'll go, oh, they said they can't do it. Why'd you tell me you could do it? And why'd you say how much it's going to cost you to do it? Why'd you even inquire and agree to a dollar amount if you can't get the job done? It's just, it truly perplexes me sometimes.
I think that's fair because you're being, played out, strung along, however you want to look at it. You remember the Geico commercial where the guy's got the money on a little fishing hook and he's like, you gotta get it. I feel like that's what you're experiencing.
Yeah, but
with real money.
But they're the ones who are in theory going to get paid to do this. I have the money. I'm not dangling. Are you saying that I'm the dangler?
I'm saying you're being dangled.
I'm trying to I want to pay them to do the job.
Okay.
And they tell me it's going to cost you $3,000 to do the job.
Right.
And then I call them back and they're like, oh, I checked with the driver and he's not going to do it for that little amount of money.
Okay. So they're just kind of...
It's just like, well, then why did you tell me that you could do it for that amount of money?
Because they want to keep you interested. Maybe they just really enjoy your conversation.
There's no way, because then I just hang up the phone and I end up finding somebody else to do it.
Well, then that's their loss, I guess. But I think it
doesn't make sense.
I think it's partly...
Why overcommit?
Well, I guess...
Undercommit, over-deliver.
Why commit at all at that point if you're not even going to commit?
Why even call?
Because maybe they have a quota of some kind.
No, they're just shopping around. I think they're
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
especially in your industry,
perhaps
in the brokerage of it all.
Perhaps, but whatever. It's my hill.
Brokering is nothing but shopping, right?
It's my hill. Yeah, sometimes.
So, but that's a fair hill. I think that's a respectable hill because, like, fuck those people who just kind of
why lie.
Get you on there.
Why lie?
Well, I love lying. I think that's great. I think lying isn't always inherently bad. Maybe that could be my next hill, but
yeah, I mean, it's got a time and a place.
Yeah, it's not a white lie, it's not a red lie, but it's a lie nonetheless.
Right.
But I think you can be on that hill. I think that's a fair hill to die on.
Okay. Well,
your tombstone will be shipped to you in about 2 days via Prime.
Yeah, I think you're lying to me right now, but
stay tuned.
Okay. That's okay.
Stay tuned. Okay. Do we want to get into the real shebang?
Well, you know what? It's kind of relatable to what we were just dying on a hill about.
Nice. I love that connection.
So it works out a little bit.
And you're armed with facts.
I came prepared, and what can you say for yourself?
I am just armed with my presence and personality today.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes you just got a great personality.
And that's why we're here.
Yep. So our topic here is customer service and kind of being a waiter, waitress, and we might talk a little AI, but I'm no genius about AI, so we might not dive.
I think anything that falls in the umbrella of servicing the customer.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
You
mind if I just hit you with a big, quick fact?
Please, I want to learn this. I really do. I'm very fascinated.
This was the first fact that I learned actually today, and I thought it was brilliant. I thought that this is something that I don't realize. $75 billion are lost yearly due to poor customer service in the U.S.
75 billion.
75 billion with a B.
And that's lost by poor customer service.
Service.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, I relate it to my job in a way where, like, if you don't do the job right, sometimes you take away money.
Sure. Okay.
You know,
yeah,
you don't do the job right, you might get paid only 3/4 of what or you might lose $100 onto what we thought about if, like, you agreed, if you overpromise and underdeliver, then you're not gonna get paid because you broke a promise and you didn't do what you said you were gonna do.
I think that's fair. I can definitely think of how that could, I guess, apply to, a lot of things.
Sure.
For, so like, say you give the customer the wrong information.
Okay.
And they act on it, causing a loss for them.
Yeah.
And they come back at you being like, yo, dog, why did you tell me this when it needed to be that? I know, very vague, very specific at the same time. But I can see that, as the company trying to rectify that
the
poor customer experience.
Exactly.
You just got to throw money at it eventually.
Exactly.
And the company I work for, I'm not going to name names right now.
Well,
because I want to keep my job if this ever does kind of reach the masses.
Yeah, and it's going to.
But my company famously just throws money until people shut up.
Right.
It's great because we always have an out. But at the same time, like, yeah, I can see how we're in that 75 billion mark.
Right. So, but that's crazy. That's a lot of money. 75 billion.
Yeah.
And that's
more money than I'll ever see.
Just due to poor customer service. That's not due to anything else. That's not due to.
I guess I'm curious as like the broadness of the poor service part, like how broad is that going? Like, and these researchers, like, what did they constitute as like poor customer service?
It's a great question, and I'm not sure, but this fact came on a couple different websites.
Okay.
And
so they had the same.
I tend to believe it if it's on a couple different websites.
Sure. I think, that makes it a little bit more respectable.
But please also note that I did not cite any of these sources that I have. And please also note that if anything's wrong,
I'm just kidding.
I don't care. I really don't.
Well, someone out there does. Maybe they'll correct us.
I'm going to state them as fact.
Yes, opinions are fact on
and
Sofa
I'll
Tomatoes.
Die on that hill.
Fabulous.
Okay.
God, we have so many hills today.
Yeah.
Practically mounds.
Yeah. So that was my first fact.
I like that.
I think that's interesting.
I think, I've definitely had my fair share of poor customer experience. I've definitely given poor customer service at times.
Oh, yeah.
Shall I, can I riddle you with a story?
Dude, if you've got a story, hit me with a story.
So back in the day when I was working at a bar restaurant.
Sure, yeah.
Ones that rhymes with fold shabajo.
Okay.
And it was my last day. Okay. I knew it was my last day.
Right.
And me and my good friend Kira were the only two front of house, serving staff in the building. And we're getting our asses handed to us.
Yeah.
We are famously in the weeds, as it's commonly referred to.
Busy.
And we had one guy. So we were managing the front door, bar, everything.
Right.
We had one guy come in and, we had put a sign up front that says, like, please wait to be seated.
Yeah.
A respectable sign that you see in often many restaurants.
Okay.
And most people listen.
Right.
But this one guy did not listen.
Right.
Maybe he couldn't read.
Well.
But he asked for a menu at the same time, so I'm assuming he could.
Well.
So I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Okay.
I'm sweating buckets. I'm pouring beers. I'm chatting people up about pizza.
Okay.
And this guy sits in a section that we are not currently servicing, but he expects service.
Okay.
So as I walk past him to get to the front door to greet more people that are coming in, he stops me, grabs me by my shirt.
Bold.
And says, "Can I get a menu? I've been here for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, this is a lie. This is a bold-faced lie because I saw him walk in and it maybe was like 5.
Yeah.
But also in that moment, time is a little bit skewed. So it could have been 20, but also this guy sucks.
Yeah.
So, but it was the shirt grab. It was all that for me where I was just like, oh, no. We're not doing this today.
Right.
So I walk to the front. I tell the customers like, hey, thanks for coming in. It is going to be a little bit of a wait. Are you okay waiting? And most of the people were just like, sure, do your thing. This
course.
was in the Midwest. Midwestern kindness was really showing out a little bit.
Yeah.
But this one guy really, I don't know, he woke up on the wrong side of the cornfield, and it was really not my day.
Right.
And like I said, it was my last day, so I could really kind of give zero fucks. So as I'm walking back, I grab a menu that he so requested. I slap it down on the table and walk away.
Dang.
And that man stood up and walked out about 30 seconds after that.
Good.
And, the owner of the restaurant was a nice guy.
Okay.
He was a sweet man.
Right.
And in my head, like, maybe I kind of did him dirty by losing a customer.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we didn't want him.
Right.
You didn't want him. You don't want that kind of customer.
There's only so many restaurants around the cornfield anyway. He'll be back.
Exactly. Well, it's gone now.
Oh, well.
R.I.P. But, and maybe I was part of that reason.
He lost his opportunity.
But, it's that kind of demanding, type of customer service that I have no patience for.
Sure.
I really don't.
Bad customer.
I'm here to help
bad
you.
Customer service.
I'm here to help you. I'm not here to, make your, life better.
Sure.
I'm here for a very short amount of time to make yourself a little bit happier.
Yeah.
But in terms, like, I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saving your life.
Yeah, you're going for satisfaction.
I'm satisfaction.
Right.
CSAT. Customer satisfaction.
I'm saying.
I'm not going for life-saving procedures or life-saving intervention.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it very surface.
That's good.
And I like that.
I like that too. Sure.
I'm not Jesus. I'm not walking on the surface. But I'm treading the surface.
Totally.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
And I feel like that maybe is a poor customer service experience to some, because you're not going above and beyond for the customer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm getting the job done. I'm following procedure. I'm following the protocol. And I'm also a human being.
Yeah. There's a reason you're not a professional waiter today.
No, I gave up that. Even though I sometimes miss it. I do.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to do it part-time, maybe you'd love it a little bit more. If it was
yes.
But who's got that kind of time?
I certainly don't.
Yeah. How are you going to create a podcast if you're
exactly priorities?
Exactly.
And this is a better priority.
It's more fun, at least.
Literally.
And less time consuming right now. So that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my last day. And I feel like I had a right on my last day to kind of be a little bitchy, a little,
sure,
a little cunty, if you will.
Yeah, that's going to happen. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You interested in another fact?
Please hit me with all the facts you have.
This time, I'm gonna kind of bounce around. I'm gonna bounce to the waiter waitress side here.
Cool. I feel like I have lived experience and might be able to opine on this information.
I found it interesting that the median hourly wage in 2023 was $15.36.
I feel like that's high.
But that's just the median. The low end was $8.94. And the high end is $28.89 at waiting. So like the absolute best you could do.
That's bullshit. Okay. You want to know what I was making when I was at the restaurant?
Tell me.
I was making $4.25. That was my hourly.
Yeah. So
that's it. That's criminal.
And how many were you putting in? 40 hours?
Yeah, I was full time.
Full time.
$4.25 was my base pay. But in the state of corn, it was like, as long as you make tips, that's supposed to make up for the deficits in minimum wage.
I thought that as long as you make tips that equal up to minimum wage, they have to cover the rest until then.
That was not my experience.
Maybe that's not how it is in Iowa. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But to kind of make those numbers a little bit more clear, so the lower 10%, their annual wage then, if they're making that $8.94, they're making $18,600. How is that
a year without tips? Like in theory,
I mean, well,
because we're a tip culture in the United States.
Kind of, yeah, we're a tip culture. Well, we're definitely a tip culture, but I'm saying that that's the minimum. That's if they're making $8.94, which you're saying that you made a lot of times $4.25
the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. So these people, they might be making $8.94. That might include their tips.
Okay.
per hour.
If that's how they're doing the math.
If maybe it's in the middle of Alabama and like the middle of nowhere,
Sure.
or somewhere where like the tips aren't, like the food's less expensive to buy, the tips aren't as high, like it's not as frequent of people coming through.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's a possibility.
You know,
I guess I was a little shocked. To me, like, I expected that number to be much lower, but maybe like that's a good thing because the people are finally getting some wages that they deserve. Although 18,000
so low.
18,000 is not a livable
nothing.
wage.
You can't live on that.
No, it's not. That's poverty in the United States at this
poverty
point.
Below. And so then the median is then $31,900.
You might want to put that up to your face.
It's $31,940. That's the median.
Person right in the middle.
Right in the middle. They're making under 32,000 waiting tables.
Yeah, that's so bad.
That's so low.
That's so bad.
And then it's saying on the highest.
And that's like these people don't get benefits, right?
No.
Like you often work in restaurants, like very rarely
No.
do you get benefits. Like do you get health insurance and other types of
very rarely do you get the full hours.
And wow, we need to do better. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That is insane. I think we should adopt a more European,
no tipping
perspective.
And they just pay more and
just,
and then factor that into the food cost.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or like, especially in like
food cost is so high already.
I know. Well, there are ways we could work around that. But for now, it is what it is. But I would rather personally pay more so the person that's giving me food doesn't have to, I don't know, maybe steal food, do any types of crime to support their lifestyle. Because if you're poor and you're working poor, and if you got to like support a family, you're going to do whatever you got to do.
Right.
And you're going to steal food from that kitchen. You're going to go back in that freezer and you're going to take some cake.
Okay. Yeah. No argument here.
You're going to do that.
You're going to use your food credits.
You're going to use your food credits from Meta and get fired for it.
And then there goes your $400K salary.
Right. You're destitute $400K.
Yeah.
But, if you gave them a livable wage and you let people have some dignity in their work, maybe we would see a little higher CSATs,
Yeah. So now that we've talked about the lower end, the median, the upper 10%,
my favorite people.
Yeah. Well, they're only the upper 10% of the waiters.
Okay.
Waitresses
Well, yeah, still my favorite people.
So there you go. $60K. $60,100. That's what they're making.
As a single person, I think that could be livable if you're not in LA, New York, Chicago.
But that's where they're working.
Right.
That's not that's where those higher pay. If you're in Miami and you're lucky to make $60K waiting a table. Lucky.
I know, that's true.
Lucky. And your rent is through the roof. It can't be done.
Oh, and it's only going up.
It can't be done.
Know. That's crazy. What do we got to do to get these people more money?
We can't tip more because we don't have enough money.
Exactly. It's a double-edged sword. It's catch,
Yeah.
Catch 22.
Yeah. There's no way.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
It's just impossible.
I always tip 20% minimum. Even if the service is ass, I will always tip 20% minimum.
I try my best. Now, the next thing that I kind of wanted to bring up, and this is not, I don't have any fact right now about this. How do you feel about like if you're picking up food somewhere?
Mm-hmm. Oh, tipping for pickup.
Are you tipping? Are you tipping for pickup? Be honest.
Be honest. No, I haven't always. I have in the past.
There's a time and a place.
But no, because I'm also doing some of the work here.
Oh my gosh!
What?
I mean, they're making the food. You're paying for the food. I'm confused.
As also,
who are you tipping?
You're usually tipping like the host if it's like a restaurant. That's usually where the tip
for
goes.
Handing you a bag of food.
Correct.
Okay, just checking.
At least that was my experience in the restaurant. All the tips for carryouts would go to the host.
Right.
And, not to say that like hosting is a easy job that anyone can do. It does take a special personality in some instances. But really the kitchen's doing the hard work. So I feel like if you're going to tip, that should go to the kitchen.
I would think.
Because the host is really just walking however the distance is from the kitchen to the front of the restaurant.
Yeah.
But
they take the calls.
They do take the
They
calls.
take the orders.
But what if it's an online order?
Yeah, it's not what I'm doing. I'd like to talk.
Okay.
But I get that. That happens sometimes. Yeah. I'm more inclined to tip if it's a place that I go a little bit more frequently.
Sure. Be a regular. Be nice.
Yeah, like my local sushi joint, I tend to tip.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm picking up, just because it's usually like a single order, so it's not too expensive. Sometimes it's a 2-person order, so you gotta throw a couple bucks their way.
Mm-hmm.
I think. But
do you tip at coffee shops? Like Starbucks?
Not Starbucks.
Okay.
Not Starbucks. No, not Starbucks.
That's why they're unionized.
Not Dunkin'. No.
I don't tip at Dunkin' either.
But if I'm hitting a local coffee joint or something like that, I'll then don't expect 20%, but I'll
a dollar.
I'll round up
if I got it.
I'll do what I can do to help out, but
because the baristas are doing work. They do God's work.
Yeah, don't catch me tipping at Chipotle. Don't catch me tipping at the Asian Grill Chipotle BB Bop. Don't catch me tipping there.
Yeah. I do love BB Bop though.
It's so good.
Shout out to BB Bop.
BB Bop, sponsor us.
Please. Oh my god, I love
at BB Bop.
The sweet potato like noodles or whatever.
Yeah.
Work me out.
It's so good.
I love it.
It's just amazing. But I'm not tipping.
No, God forbid.
I don't care how good that food is. You're not going to get me to tip at that location unless you guys are serving me and you're doing the whole bit. But
yeah,
when you're charging me $2 for pineapple, I'm not tipping. I'm not going to do it.
Right. At that point, you're working.
Yeah.
You
you should tip me for taking the pineapple.
Wow, that's crazy. Although, I mean, I do think that
it might be $1 for pineapple, but still, I mean.
It's still too much.
Yeah, it's not a hill I'm willing to die on.
It's too much. I think it's common for people not to tip on pickup orders.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're outliers on that.
No, like odds are I'm not tipping if I'm picking up a pizza.
But the moment, you
Pizzas
do
so
get
expensive.
those tips that are like $20 for a carryout. I remember one day our host at the restaurant, she got a big tip.
Yeah.
And she really only did bare minimum. And
Sure.
it's great, but that's fine. That's what she got paid to do.
Right.
But then, some very generous guests, this was like right before COVID too, was like, here's $20 doll. And she was so happy.
Yeah.
Well,
during COVID times, I felt like people were very, very tip savvy.
No, disagree.
That
was not my experience.
Well, I heard otherwise, but anyhow.
Maybe
in Iowa, I don't know.
I had regulars who were so sweet, so kind, prepared food, gave me and my friend Kira like a card with $100 in it.
Wow.
Like super sweet. I need to go back and hopefully they're still around because they're amazing.
Yeah. They need a hug.
They know who they are. I don't know if whatever.
Yeah, they just need a hug.
Either
That's
way,
fine.
they're amazing. They're great people. They were a gay couple and I love them.
Yeah.
And, so those are the types of people that like I can get behind as, involved and supporting the, servers in COVID or whatever.
Sure.
But the general masses at Fold Shabajo.
Yeah.
Mama gutted.
Dang.
Gutted. I'm talking 10% was a good tip. It was, thank you, sweetie, so much. You've been perfect. Here's $2 on an $80 order.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
Yeah.
And that's unacceptable.
Yeah. So if you're that type of person, there's a special hill that you will be murdered on. Guaranteed. And that's not a threat. It's not a promise. It's a guarantee.
Well, let's talk about the turnover as a waiter or waitress.
God, so high.
Okay.
So high.
34% of servers, they leave their job within a year.
Yeah.
1/3.
Only 30%?
1/3.
Okay.
Turnover. This is 2023. This is a year ago. These stats. This is the .gov website. I got these.
The Bureau of Labor.
I'm not going to say where I got it, but there's a .gov website. I got this info.
Okay.
Thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is.
34% will leave after a year. The other 34 after. So like most people are going to leave. 68% of people are gone. Turnover within 2 years. Most people aren't staying at these waiting jobs any longer than 2 years because it's just not sustainable.
It wasn't.
It isn't. It literally isn't. And then there's another 12% for the next year. So it's like, it's every single year you're more likely to quit this unsustainable job that 1.4 million food servers in the US. There's 1.4 million people and there's this turnover rate.
Only 1.4 million?
1.4 million.
There's 400 million of us in this country.
1.4 million. That's the stat. I mean, maybe I got it wrong.
No,
over 1.4 million food servers employed in the US.
Yeah.
This is probably not counting like your busboy. This might not be counting your host. Okay.
The back of house, the dishwashers.
These are your
frontline cooks,
servers. These are the people that are bringing you your food.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's that many people that need to find new jobs a third of them are having to find a new job every year. Another third of them are having to find a job every 2 years. So that's 2/3 of them have to find a new job every 2 years because it's an unsustainable living environment.
Huh. I mean, like, that figure is pretty incredible, but at the same time, like,
it's believable.
I've witnessed it.
And and I can tell you why it's believable. The average age of the food servers,
I'm gonna say 19, 21, 16.
Okay, the average age of a food server is over 40 years old.
Over 40?
Yeah.
Really?
The average age of a food server is over 40 years old. 54% of servers are older than 40.
Give these people pensions. My God, they are doing too much at that age.
It's unsustainable.
My aunt is still serving, and she's like well beyond 40. Not to like date her.
No.
But
I mean, whatever. But like, is that not crazy?
That's wild.
You think, oh, all these young kids are probably out serving. No, they're not.
That's what I thought. Because
people are the only people that'll do it.
Wow.
And not older, just a little bit older.
Yeah.
You're not old if you're 40. I'm sorry.
No, but you're experienced.
But yeah, you've been around. And then like but then the next bit is between 20 and 30 years old. That's 22%. Are waiters and waitresses. Only 22%.
Okay.
While 54% are older than 40. Just to reiterate that.
That's wild. Do better, America, because that's insane to me.
I'm just saying. And only 15% are between 30 and 40. And I'm sure the rest is just under.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow. Which I think is kind of bananas.
That's more than bananas. That's a whole damn tree.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Yep. And that is why this other random kind of fact is that over 75%, or food servers, are 75% more likely to work for a private food company rather than a public one.
Okay.
Probably more money.
Maybe.
I mean, it's maybe more Benny involved, I'm guessing, but probably harder job to get. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
tricky.
The mom and pop ones, I mean, like who is very important because it'll be like, hey, so and so just left this restaurant. They want to work here. That could be that way. But I was in the corporate restaurant experience.
Yeah.
And I watched all the training videos. I went through that.
Right.
All of that. And I think that absolutely the corporate people will make less because they're going to nickel and dime the shit out of you just to make sure that these larger corporations get their bottom line. Because at the end of the day, restaurants, food, whatever, it's all about the money in the end. That's really all they care about the C-suite.
For sure.
What's the stock price looking like today?
Yeah. Okay.
And if it, means paying $4.25 your serving staff, and that stock price goes up 2%, they're going to keep doing that.
Okay. Sure.
That's my hot take.
Okay.
I have no facts to back that up. Just, my opinions, which are facts on Sofa Tomatoes.
Yeah. I mean, if you tell Mike he's wrong, you're wrong because we don't care.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for clarifying.
But that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
You ready for the next fact?
Please.
Okay. 64% of waiters / waitresses are women. A majority of the servers are female.
Okay.
And yet, men still get paid more for the job.
Shut the. I'm not shocked by that because it's, you know, what is like 70 cents on the dollar is the average for, you know, the women.
It's not that drastic. It's not that crazy.
Okay.
It's only a cent difference.
Oh, really?
It's only a cent.
I guess that's nice. There's some.
It really is
a little bit of more equity there.
Only a cent, and these are just the facts that I've got here. But still, 64% of women, and they're still getting paid less than men. What are we doing? Tip your waitresses, people.
I think it's all because of Hillary. How, you know, if Hillary was president, we wouldn't have had this issue. Hot take, and that's probably not true.
It's crazy.
I'm not shocked, I guess, that like more women are servers, because I feel like historically it's always been seen as like a woman's job.
Yeah.
While like cooks are typically like a male job.
Right.
That's kind of like how, I don't know, the historical trend of it all is broken down. I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm just saying like that's just kind of been the lived experience.
Yeah.
Those are the facts on the ground, so to speak.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a male server myself, again, to make this all about me, the women, you know, they definitely got higher tips than the guys did.
You would think.
They did. At least my girlfriend, Kira, shout out to Kira again. She could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves. Like, she had that talent.
Sure.
But it was, you know, all she had to do was like bat an eye, you know, flip a tit, and then next thing you know, all the construction workers that would come in at the bar would just like oodle and google all over her.
Oh.
You know, and then she would just be like, boys, they can't give you more beer if you don't give me more money. And they're just like, of course, baby, here you go. You know, and that is just not what I could do unless it was a gay bar.
Right.
Which I didn't work at a gay bar. I worked at a strictly heterosexual bar. And it was, you know, and that was what it was.
Yeah. But
I did have a man, you know, solicit me to the hotel right next door.
Oh.
That did happen.
Fancy.
No. It was the Heartland and
not fancy.
It was it's trash.
Cut that.
It was bad. Bad. Let's take a break. But that didn't happen. And you know what he tipped me at the end of the day?
Not much.
He gave me whatever change I gave him back. So it was like a couple quarters, couple nickels, couple dimes.
Less than a buck.
And then he wanted me to go back to his hotel. And that was not happening.
It's a hard pass for Mike Tomatoes.
You know, the money's on the dresser, get dressed.
Yikes. But
obviously he had no money for the dresser. So that was not happening.
Got another fact for you.
Please.
Speaking of,
what do you got?
7% of servers are LGBT.
Stunning. We rule the world. We really do.
You guys are out there. And for some reason, people are counting. But the facts are out there. So you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I needed that.
Thank you for serving us.
You know, you're welcome. Because that's what we do. We are service people. Yeah. And that's how our community is based. We're a service-based community.
Exactly.
And I liked that because it also, you know, I think we just like, because of our lived experience and also serving is like the common job.
Sure.
You know, it really gives us like a good way to understand like who's on our side and who's not.
Oh yeah.
I think it's possible. I mean, I think that like maybe they're less discriminatory, the restaurants, to some regard than like larger corporations and whatever. But totally. I also think that partly we gravitate to those because it allows us, you know, insights into human behavior and, you know, reading people. I think one skill that, you know, you definitely get from serving is how to read a person. You know, you can sometimes tell just by the look on their face if this is going to be a good tip table, a bad tip table. You know, and I think, you know, as we kind of have to grow up and learn who's on our side and who's not, you know, we take the serving jobs to really hone those skills.
Totally.
At least that was what I think I did. And it worked.
Yeah.
It was great.
Reading people's a skill.
It is. And not just like reading as in like, you know, you're trash, you know, like kind of reads.
Yeah.
But like reading people as in like body language.
Right.
You know, eye contact is also like a part of it.
Yeah.
But you know, also like subtle languages, you know, like the way people.
It's all about the tone of the voice.
Yes, it's the way people speak to each other.
How fast did they say something?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You
Low
know?
talker, high talker.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes like Full Shishmajo was also kind of like Sporty Bar or whatever.
Right.
So like again, a heterosexual experience.
Sure.
And you would hear some slurs here and there, and like, you know, I guess it would consider code switching or whatever.
Okay.
But like, because if they're saying, you know, some homophobic slurs,
Yeah.
and they're my table, I'm gonna butch it up a little bit
Yeah, I guess.
because I don't want them to be
You're gonna bro down.
butch it up, bro down. I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to take their money.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just how it's gonna be. So, you got a nice little message.
Yeah, I don't know.
Important business is happening on Sofa Tomatoes today, but you know, and I think that was, you know, whatever. People hate those who code switch, and I understand it. You know, because like living your truth, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I want their money. I don't care how it needs to be done or what I have to say or how I have to walk in a certain capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I want your money. And if that means pretending to know who the fuck Aaron Rodgers is, I'm going to tell you he's my best friend. I'm going to tell you we grew up in the same shitty school in Boo-Foo, Wisconsin.
Uh-oh.
And, you know, I was throwing the pigskin with him. Like, I will do whatever I gotta do to butter your heterosexual biscuits.
Okay.
Because you need to give me that money.
There you go.
Because it's a job.
You got to make that money. And
It's a job.
And you know what? Can I give you another fact?
Please.
Well, here's what I got for you. That the tips, they account for 60% of their salary.
See, I knew it.
60%.
I knew it. And that's why they get away with paying us $4.25 an hour.
So you got to care about Aaron Rodgers once in a while.
You do.
To account for that extra couple percent. And I'm sorry that you have to do that.
It's okay. You know, I don't have to anymore.
Well,
but when
it sucks
I did,
that you had to do it.
But when I did, I milked that.
Yeah.
I milked that cow.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, JJ Watt. I would just throw out all these people.
He's retired now. Did you know that?
Is he?
Retired.
Would have never known.
Yeah.
But
his brother's playing though.
BJ Watt?
Nope. Close. TJ.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No
It's
joke.
another J.
TJ Watt.
The Watts.
The Watt. Did you know there's a third Watt?
MJ.
I don't know his name. He plays college ball right now.
PJ.
I believe in Wisconsin. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I hope it's another
I only
one
know
like
TJ
that.
and JJ.
I hope it is. I hope there's some continuity in the Watt family.
I hope so too. I'm sure there is. These guys they're insane, but whatever.
Yeah, I just, you know, I would say whoever was hot at the moment, you know, and just try and get people to think that I knew sports.
You do know sports. It depends on the sport and what part of the sport, and like is it a little bit about something else that's not
I know the drama of the sports. I don't know the numbers. Like if you tell me how many interceptions or what statistics are happening, I can't. That's a different language to me.
Sure.
But if you tell me Aaron Rodgers is an anti-vaxxer, I can milk that.
Totally.
You know, because I know the like gossip of sports, I guess, because ESPN is Bravo. You know, how Bravo is to the gay audience, ESPN is to the straight audience.
Right.
You know, that's how I see it.
Totally.
So, and I'll just kind of find that drama and milk it.
You got to.
Because it just gives people the idea that, oh, he watches ESPN. He's informed. He must be straight.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's give him more money.
Please. I need it.
Got to get it. 60%.
So, yeah, 60%.
60%.
That's, again, I'm not surprised by that figure, but God damn it, give these people some more money.
Yeah. It's
you
crazy.
know?
It's crazy. There's got to be a better way, and we're not going to be able to figure that out here at Sofa Tomatoes, but we'll talk about it.
No, and this is, I guess, a moment where, like, we're extending that hand, that olive tree of viewers to inform us on how to fix these problems.
Yeah.
Because I guess at Sofa Tomatoes, we'll tell you what the problem is, and we might offer some, you know, vague, generic solutions, but solutions nonetheless, because again, our opinions are facts on this show.
Yep.
But I do rely on other people to tell me what's up.
Yeah.
I do.
We couldn't know what's up if we didn't have other people to tell us.
That's true.
So,
do you have any more facts?
The facts are that this episode's over. So,
amazing.
Welcome to Sofa Tomatoes and goodbye from Sofa Tomatoes.
Au revoir from Sofa Tomatoes. Tip your server. Thank your hostess. Be kind to one another. because they need the money.
They really do.
They need the freaking money.
And
20%.
Yeah,
Remember,
20%.
20%.
Have a great rest of your night, you guys, or day, or whatever you're doing. Listening.
Goodbye, Soba Tomatoes.
Bye, guys. Bye.